Today on the podcast, we're going to be talking about what makes Chinese medicine unique. So today's video is all about the understanding the theory, the framework of Chinese medicine. You may not realize it's a completely different system of medicine to Western medicine. So we're going to be talking about yin-yang, the 5 elements, the theory of the organs, and the theory of our channels and all that. Is it mystical woo-woo, or is there something to it? So let's go and have a look. Let's have a look at that now. Thanks for coming on this journey with me. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell below. That way we're on the journey together towards better health and better understanding of how Chinese medicine can help you. I want to take you on a journey of understanding Chinese medicine. That's what I'm doing on this podcast, and that's what you're going to be getting. If you subscribe to the channel, you're going to be getting lots of videos that are all about how to help you. So please leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you would like to know about. I'd love to know how I can help you. Before we get deeper into this video, I just need to give a quick disclaimer, or just the general information. I hope this is common sense, but this video, nor any of the videos in this series, are a replacement for a Western medicine diagnosis or a Chinese medicine diagnosis, or seeing your professional healthcare professional, your doctor, your GP, your Chinese medicine practitioner, your acupuncturist, or whoever you see for your healthcare. If you have a problem, if you have a symptom, a concern, and it hasn't been diagnosed, please go and get it treated. Please go and get it checked. YouTube videos are not a replacement for medicine. This channel is about helping you be as healthy as you can. And often these videos are useful after you've gotten your Chinese medicine diagnosis. You've seen a practitioner, you might be having acupuncture at the moment, or have had a series of acupuncture, and you want to actually make your body as healthy as it can be by using these principles or understanding Chinese medicine to a better degree. Now, I'm a Chinese medicine practitioner myself. I've got more than 15 years of experience. Actually, I've got 17 years of experience in practice of Chinese medicine, plus I did my 3 years of study back in the day. And I've got various different degrees that I have in Chinese medicine, and also in international health, which is like public health, but in different countries. I'm a teacher of Chinese medicine, so I hope that I can be of benefit to you and that this series is beneficial to people. My special skill is probably in explaining things and breaking down those concepts and making them easy to understand. And so that's my goal. If I can help people on this channel, help some people better understand Chinese medicine. I've even got some people who subscribe to this channel who are students, and they just find their lectures to be not as easy to understand as, or they need extra information. They want to understand it in a deeper way. So welcome to all those people. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's get on with the basis of this stuff. So what is Chinese medicine all about? What makes it unique and what makes it special and different? And sometimes when you hear some of the concepts in Chinese medicine, you think this sounds like mystical woo-woo. I remember when I was back in Chinese medicine school, and I was thinking that as well. And I was thinking, is this, is this like some kind of, I don't know, mystical force system or something like that? What's qi? This sounds really strange. Now, the thing with Chinese medicine, one is that it comes from Chinese culture. There's lots of different words that are used, and look, over time, things have been translated poorly. I'm not going to sit here and debate the ins and outs of that, but it is a fact. Some things have been translated not in the greatest way. And so as a Westerner, as someone who doesn't know anything about Chinese, coming into understanding and learning that concept, there's not a lot of information that's kind of given in schools, I guess, of how to interpret and how to understand things better just at that undergraduate level, let alone for patients to kind of understand. And then some practitioners just aren't very good at explaining it to patients, and they just don't have the time to do that. And that's just how life is. Like, people want to get on and get the treatment. And you don't have to actually understand everything about Chinese medicine for it to work on you. So I understand that, and so hopefully you're at this podcast, you're in this place because you're one of those people that just wants to understand things in a little bit of a better way and a deeper way. So there's the basic philosophies of Chinese medicine, which this would be what I'm going to put in this lecture, or this talk. It would be basically the first subject in the first year of Chinese medicine school. They'd often call this the foundations of Chinese medicine. And I'm not going to give you 13 weeks of, like 3 hours of 13 weeks in a one lecture, but I'm just going to give you an overview of it so you understand what is in there, what it is. So you have yin and yang and the 5 elements, You have the concept of organs, like there's what we call the zang fu, and the idea of how disharmony or how illness can happen to our body. Those things make Chinese medicine very different to Western medicine, very unique. Now, some of those philosophies carry out through different other aspects of Oriental culture. So if you're into martial arts, or you do Qigong or Tai Chi or something like that, then you would have heard of Yin and Yang before. You may have seen it, like it used to be very popular as people just wear a Tai Chi, which is the Yin Yang. The Tai Chi is the symbol of Yin and Yang. Now, what Chinese medicine's based on is observation, okay? So looking at how our physical body interacts with the world around us, with the universe, and that's how we get the idea of the understanding of the 5 elements. So I'm going to talk about those 2 concepts mostly today, and a little bit about the organs, and hopefully we can get through this in about this will be about an hour, this video, I think, or I might make it into 2 20-minute videos. So let's get on with it. Yin and Yang. What is Yin and Yang? So it's a conceptual philosophy, and it's basically in relative to each other. So Yin and Yang has like 4 fundamental principles about it. 4 aspects of Yin and Yang that's probably important to understand. One is that they're opposite, right? So that's an easy thing to think of. So Yin, like day, is represented by Yang. Yin is represented by night. So by opposite, it means like those 2 things are different, right? Day is there's light, so light is Yang, and Yin is density, and darkness. You can also think of things in terms of of what are Yin and Yang, in terms of like an object or something like that might have some aspects of Yin and some aspects of Yang. So if I were to hold this incredibly still, it would be mostly Yin. But the fact that it's moving a little bit, the water is moving, is a Yang aspect because it's got some movement there. And then again, if we look at this whole thing here as a structure, the teapot's a lot more Yin, and the base, which is the burner, because it's got a fire, that's definitely a lot more Yang. So we've kind of got Yin and Yang mixing together. Now, we've got Yang within Yin here already. You know, if you've ever studied Chinese medicine before, you would be able to get that already. But the water is Yin. Okay, so the teapot itself is glass. It doesn't really do anything in terms of it's not it's not a living creature or anything like that. So it's purely Yin as a dense sort of thing. Just like this basket is mostly Yin. I mean, it once was alive, like this wood once was alive. So you could say it probably has a bit more Yang than cement or something that's plastic, I guess. So the heat, the fire, the Yang is adding into the Yin, the water, which is cool, and making that water warm. So the Yang is warming the water. So there's an example of Yang within Yin, right? So they're opposite things, okay? Then the next one is that they're interdependent, like they're interdependent on each other. You can't really we only have day because we have night, and vice versa. We only have light because we have darkness. So we wouldn't be able to appreciate light and dark if we didn't have one or the other. We'd only have light, and we wouldn't be able to notice like shades of light because of darkness. It's by adding a bit of darkness that we get shades of. So think of grey, different shades of grey. Like the more and more black something becomes, is the more Yin it becomes, whereas the lighter it becomes, the more Yang it becomes. So these things are like interdependent of each other. Now, if you look at the Yin-Yang symbol, the Tai Chi symbol, they're also mutually consuming. So mutually consuming means you cannot have something Yang forever. It just won't last, right? So it basically, when Yang gives birth to Yin and Yin gives birth to Yang. I don't want to get too bogged down in details in this video because this is meant to be very, very basic. So if you're learning this in Chinese medicine school, they'll teach it to you in a lot more in-depth detail. And really, to be clear, like this is probably more the fringe people that want to watch this. So yeah, I'm just going to give you the basic. That this is going to be very basic. Intertransformative, or they transform into each other. Now you can see that within that symbol, where you see where yang reaches its utmost, then it gives birth, or it transforms into yin, right? So these things, it's like day turns into night, night gives birth to day, and so on and so forth. And so the day and the night is the best example of yin and yang, right? Even within a night, like you have the evening time, which so right now when I'm filming this, I'm losing light as we speak, because it's turning in the yang. Like, so the best time to film, if you want the most light, would be the utmost yang, the middle of the day. And so you've got the most bright light. As the day turns into night, yin starts to creep in, right, until it gets completely dark, and then we would say that's like, then there's more yin than there is yang. But even within yin, there are stars yang. We look up in the night sky, we see brightness, we see some light. It's not complete dense pitch darkness. So you also see that. And then the other one is that it has the seeds of each contain the seed of the other. So you see that represented in the Tai Chi symbol with the little dots within each other. So it's basically showing that, you cannot have one without the other. It's showing that that's the seed of yang is within yin, and vice versa. So that is one aspect of Chinese medicine. That is a very broad, fundamental aspect, which is usually taught in the first couple of weeks. And then a lot of students forget about that, and even some practitioners kind of forget, because we get bogged down in much, much more detail. But it's particularly classical Chinese medicine, and I mean all styles of Chinese medicine come back to yin and yang, and it's a fundamental aspect that we should never really ignore. And we're always thinking in terms of our body. Our practitioners thinking in terms of your body. Where is the yang? Particularly the style of Chinese medicine that follows that system of, as we age, we lose yang. So we can't last forever. Now, in a human being, our dense bodies is yin. When you die, you're just all yin. Okay, you're just a slab of meat on the morgue table. That is yin with no yang. There's no life force in you. So the function, the force, the movement, when I'm doing movements, that's more yang. If I go to the gym and pump some exercise, I'm going to be more yang than I am sitting here. Just if I sit doing not much, meditation, sitting, that's more yin. Now you need both in life. You can't have all yang. You can't just be running around all day, run and no rest. Yin is the resting time, right? So when you're sleeping, your body should be the most yin that you can be. So you don't want to be all hot and sweaty. You don't want to be all active. You don't want your mind to be active. You don't want to be dreaming a lot. You want to be as yin as you can. And so in a practitioner sense, when you're getting assessed by a practitioner, they're going to be asking you those questions because they're thinking, are you able to rest? Like when we ask about your sleep, do you have a lot of dreams? Are you waking up at night? Are you restless at night? That's all signs that your body isn't resting properly. And that means it's not having the adequate amount of yin, nourishment, repair, that kind of stuff that happens. I mean, even at night, your mind is resting, your physical body's resting, but inside your physical body's still doing things, and that is a yang function. So we never cease to be yang. We never cease. Otherwise we would be dead, right? So even though the Tai Chi symbol represents yin and yang, like half and half, if you think about it, we're really 2/3 yang and 1/3 yin, because the daytime is 2/3, like we have 2/3 of light and 1/3. So 8 hours you have of night, of dark, right? So in a general sense, we should try to have 8 hours of sleep, rest, not doing too much, not being too active, certainly not, revving up into a yang time towards that yin time, like, going to the gym at like 9 o'clock at night and, getting all hot and sweaty or getting all, that's a yang activity type of thing. In the morning when you wake up as that yang, the dawn of the day, the birth of yang, you want to be as active as you can in that morning time, and that's how to go with. So the longevity aspects of Chinese medicine about going with the season, going with what's meant to be happening rather than going against it. And that's one big aspect of health in Chinese medicine. So essentially, if you want to be healthy, you need to not go against the seasons and not go against just what nature is telling your body to do. So that's yin and yang, okay?